Hi children, and welcome to today's math session, and this is about time again, and this is analog, which is this type of clock, to digital time. Digital time is the time that you will see on all of your devices if you've got a smartwatch, or you've probably seen on the corner of your TV screen. So that is that time where it's not on a clock face, it's written out in digits. Okay, so for this lesson, I am going to assume that you are absolutely fine with reading on an analog clock and you can read to the nearest minute. If that is something that you need to go away and practice beforehand, there is a link on our class page for an analog clock tool. Have a play about, have a practice at that, because it might not be something that you have used for a little while. We use a lot of digital clocks these days, but not so many analog clocks. Tend to find them hanging in our classroom and usually in someone's kitchen. It might be a big one in your kitchen, but if it's not something you've done for a little bit, have a practice of that before you carry on with the rest of this session. So here you can see I've got my clock face. We've got 12 hours, but 24 hours in a day, so we go around the clock face twice. And then we also have around the edge these minute intervals. Now you can see these 12 hours, if we've got 60 minutes in an hour, each of these intervals, 60 divided by 12 totals 5. So when the minute hand is pointing to one of the hours, directly to one of the hours, sorry, that will be a multiple of 5 in the minutes. So I've got those marked on, so I can just use those to help me to count out around, and that's really helpful for when you are telling the time on an analog clock, particularly when we come to do some digital time. So I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then we go to 60 minutes, but again, that's then the beginning of the next hour. Okay, so for today, we are going to be matching the analog times on these clocks to the digital times on these clocks down here. Okay, now the tricky part here is that we don't have any numerals on our clocks. Well, first of all, to help myself out, I'm going to start by looking at the short hour hand, our longer minute hand and our shorter hour hand. Okay, so this hour hand, I'm going to make notes, because remember, we always scribble all over things, write on things to help ourselves out. So this is 12. This is our shorter hour hand here. That one is pointing to 4. Okay, and here is our short hour hand here, and that one is pointing to 9. Okay, so with that in mind, I can have a little look here. Well, I can see that this is 12, the one here 12, 21. So let's just check. Well, 5, 10, 15, 20. It's just gone past 20 minutes. So this one shows me 12:21. Okay, this one is 4, but we're not quite at 4 yet. We haven't reached 4 o'clock. So actually what I do need to do is mark on the hour before. So that's 3 something. Okay, so 3, but I've gone past the hour of 3. I'm on my way to 4. How many minutes past 3 am I? Well, I am 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Make life easy for myself. Instead of counting all the 5s from now on, if I know it's on this half of the clock, there's 30, so I can just count past there. I could even do 2 jumps and count in multiples of 10. So 3:30, 3:40, 3:45. Okay, so just past 3:45, a minute past there, so it's 3:46. So that one matches with that time. And then just to confirm my last one, well, it has gone past 9 o'clock, 5, 10, 15, 1 minute, 2 minutes past 15, so 17. So that one is 9:17. Right, let's move on to our next problems. Remember, just in all of the other sessions this week, pause it, have a go for yourself, then use me to check up. So convert this to digital time. Now, the clue I will give you here is your short hour hand goes in this section, and we've always got this colon in the middle to separate our hours and minutes, and the time that you read from. Let me change colour again. You know, I love a bit of colour, bit of difference. The time you read from your long minute hand goes in there. So have a go. Right, well, my hour here is 5, and we tend to do double digits on a digital clock. So I'm going to put 0, 5. Okay, and then, well, actually, no, I'm not, because I haven't quite, didn't read that accurately, did I? I haven't quite got to 5 o'clock. I'm still actually just before. Remember, you need to be really accurate with reading time. I wasn't then. So actually, we're not actually at 5 o'clock, so we're still on 4. Right? And how many minutes past 4 o'clock are we? There's 30, 45, 50, 55. So I'm actually on 4:55. Now, the challenge here is that digital times can actually be in 2 different formats. We can say 4:45 on our clock, but just like on either clock, we don't know if that is AM or PM. Now, in a digital clock, we can put AM or PM at the side, but we tend not to do that. We tend to work in a 12-hour cycle. And what we tend to do here is our 55 minutes is still going to be the same, regardless. I need my colon in the middle. And actually, so this would be 4:45 in the morning. If it were in the afternoon, I would take that 4 and I would add 12 hours to it. So 4 add 12 is 16. So in the evening, 4:55, 5 to 5 is shown as 16:55. And by using this 24-hour format, it reduces the need. I don't need this AM and PM anymore. You can go over there, because if I know I'm on a 24-hour format, 4:55 must be in the morning because 16:55 is in the afternoon. Okay, next question. Oh, where are you going? Thank you very much. So draw the hands on the clock face to represent the digital time. So I have 12:19. And now remember, this is our hour hand, and this one is our minute hand. This is the longer hand. You must be very, very accurate when you are drawing hands on a clock, because if you draw them the wrong way around, you are going to show entirely the wrong time. So I am going to start, now where's my one? Here, with an arrow at the end, because that will help me to be particularly accurate. So I'm drawing on 19 minutes past. So if I know this is 20 minutes past, this here is 19 minutes past. I'm going to start from the center of my clock. I'm not going to have it touching exactly, just a little bit away from there. So that is my, and I'll just show you here, that's my long minute hand there. And then I'm going to draw my short hour hand. Well, it's 12, it's 19 minutes past 12. So my short hour hand will not be pointing directly at 12, because the time is already 19 minutes of the hour have already gone. So I'm going to go up to 12. No, that wasn't in the right place. Let me just get rid of that one. Don't like you. Let's try that again. So I'm going to start from the center. Oh, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Sorry, children. Straight up to 12. I'm going to make it my short hour hand, but then I'm going to point it between 12 and 1. Let me see if I can just that better. Okay. So now it's between 12 and 1 because I've gone 20 minutes past the hour. It's a lot shorter. I can definitely tell the difference between the two hands. I've got my 12 hour and my 19 minutes. Right, let's move on from there. Convert these AM times. So notice here in the question, it says AM. So I know that they are going to be morning times. These AM times to digital. And then the second part of the question, order them. Move myself out the way because that's not very useful, is it? Order them. I'm going to go over here. Hello. Order them from earliest. I'm going to get my highlighter tool out because you know I love it. Just make sure it just focuses myself on the question, focuses me on exactly what I need to do. So convert these AM times to digital and order them from earliest to latest. So have a quick go at that one. Remember, hour in this part, minutes in there. So first one, I've got 07 on my hours because it's gone past 7 o'clock, but it hasn't quite reached 8 yet. And it's pointing directly at that 3. So that is 15 minutes past 7 in the morning, pretty early. Okay, oh, even earlier here. So we can see, let me just click off there. Here, I've gone past 5 o'clock, but I've not quite reached 6 a.m. yet. You can see how that short hour hand has not quite got to the 6. So it's still 05 in the morning. And how many minutes? Well, that would be 45 if I got to there. So that's 1 minute before 45. So it's actually 05:44 in the morning. And then finally, got between 1 and 2. So we've gone past the 1, but not got to the 2. So it's 1 o'clock and it's pointing straight down to 6. So that's 01:30. Okay, so from earliest to latest, well, actually, we would tend to say usually that 01:30 was very late at night. But actually, once we get to midnight, it is the beginning of a new day. So it's actually incredibly early in the morning. So although we tend to think of it as the night, 01:30 is actually earliest in the morning. Then 05:44 is the next earliest. They're all pretty early for me, to be honest. And 07:15, that's more my kind of time, is the latest. Brilliant year for all. Right, where am I? I'm blocking the question. What would the digital time be if it was 14 minutes later than the time shown on the clock? Have a go at this one. You might want to pause the video and count actually on the clock that those 14 minutes past. Make notes to help yourself. Right, so if I am looking here, I am on 4. I can do it either way, can't I, really? I can write the time that I am on now, which is 04:41, and then I can just add 14 to my minutes. So that would put me on 04. Oh, why does it keep doing that to me? 04, adding 14. Well, adding 4 in the ones gives me 5. Another 1 in the tens gives me 5 as well. So 04:55. But I could also count. So I'm going to add my 4 minutes first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can just add 2 lots of 5, which is 10. So 5, 10. So that would actually put me on 04:55, whichever way you have had a go of, as long as you got the right answer. Brilliant. Well done. Okay, 2 more questions for today. So Grayson arrives at the dog show at the time shown on the analog clock. He thinks he's on time to watch agility. So we've got the different events with lots of different things to think about here. We are reading information in a table, we're reading information on the clock, and then we've got to actually answer the question. So we've got 3 different events and the start time of each of them. So agility is the one that we are focusing on. So I'm just going to highlight that because actually I don't really need to worry about the other 2. Sometimes in these types of questions, extra information is given to us to make it a little bit trickier to get our brain thinking and working a little bit harder. So I am just focusing myself on the bit that I need. So he arrives at the time shown on this clock. So I am obviously, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to write down the time that he arrives. So he has arrived at 10 is our hour. Okay, and how many minutes? Well, let's see, there's 20, 21, 22, 23. So he has arrived at 10:23 and he thinks he has arrived in time for agility. Is he correct, children? Yes, he is, because he's arrived at 10:23. Agility doesn't begin until 10:33. So he's actually arrived 10 minutes early. Well done, Grayson. Enjoy the show. Not something Charlie would ever be doing. He likes the lazy things. Right, 1 more question for us to work through together with actually lots of different parts. Which is the earliest and the latest time? Now we have lots of different times here. We've got AM times, we've got PM times. Notice here, we've got the 12-hour format of our digital clock. So we're not using the 24-hour clock here. They do have AM and PM at the end of them. So which ones are the earliest? What am I going to ask you to do under these analog clocks? Yep, write the digital times. So here we have, don't know why I started this one, but it looks pretty good. So our hour is 10 because we've not got to 11, 10, 45, 46, 47 PM. Right, up here we've gone past 60656, so 06. Don't just write 6, you need to put that 0 in because it will always be a 2-digit value in here. So when you do not have anything, just like when we're doing our addition and subtraction, you use your 0 as a place value. So 0606 AM, just checking that's correct. Yeah. Right, on this one we've gone past 10 on the hour. And we are on 10:35. This would be 36, 37. We've missed one. 10, 35, 36, 37, 38. And that's PM. And then my last one 0, 6, colon, and then 10, 11, 12, and that is AM. So now got all those times. So now I can compare them because they are in the same format. We always compare the same units of measure. It makes life a lot easier. So I am going to compare all of the digital times. So which is the earliest and the latest time? Well, I can see here that actually 06:06 AM is the earliest time. So I'm going to circle this clock because even though it's in an analog format, it's showing me the earliest time, and the latest, I'm looking for PM time. So I've got 10:47 p.m., 9:59 p.m., 10:24 p.m., 10:38 p.m. I'm underlining those PM times so they stand out a bit to me because I was getting a bit confused with AMs and PMs. So I'm just differentiating between the two. And the latest one is 10:47 p.m. So I'm going to circle around there. Okay, well done on working so hard today on that, children. Go back, refresh yourselves if you need to. You are now going to go and have a go at the activities on your sheet. Remember, if you need to practice some digital times, use the clock tool. Your challenge for this week, well, for the rest of this week, is to, whenever you see a clock, whether it's a watch that you are wearing or on a smartphone or on a digital device or in a car, read the time to somebody and tell them, oh, it's this time. But you'll be going, oh, this is the time now. This is the time now. This is the time now. The time is one of those things that the more and more you do it, the better you get at it. Just like with everything in our learning, the more we practice, the better we are. Well done, children. Keep up your great work. I'm really proud of you. Excellent.